Recording is in progress. So, yes, this session is going to be about one where you're going to help me understand um, all things that is crypto, blockchain, Web3, whatever the shit that is. Um, so, yeah, the stage is yours. Go ahead and share your thoughts out.
Okay, so we'll take it slow. I don't guarantee you that I'll give you everything in next 30 minutes. But yeah, I'll try to give you small piece of chunk. But yeah, I'll try to make sure that that small piece of chunk stays with you forever. So before that, I would like to understand, do you have any understanding or any layman's understanding of what exactly is cryptocurrency?
So, I do understand cryptocurrency in very fundamental basis. This is digital, okay, and how it's entirely built on trust slash ledger. So this ledger serves as a mechanism through which it is building the trust in, because any currency or entire world economy is running entirely on trust. I understand that part. I do not subscribe to cryptocurrency yet as a mode of transaction, but in the future it will become one of those kinds. I don't. I look at cryptos as a asset of storage. So it's
Mhm.
taken me around a decade to finally understand that yes, it is an asset, a storage asset of value, and its value can be up or down. Although I do wish I had my brain lit up earlier than now, because right now Bitcoin is at 40,000 US dollars, one Bitcoin. And the time I got to know about blockchain and Bitcoin, this was 2011. So a decade of not really knowing about, like not really researching has bit me. Maybe not that much because I was any which ways
Listen,
investing in stock
2011
market.
is like you would have been like top 1000 people probably or top 10,000 people to know about it in the whole world.
But I
So I
think
mean,
most of those people
should have
who still knew
some
about it
bitcoins
now,
with you.
those who still knew about it, they didn't really act much because
Did
it
not
was then
trust.
just supposed to be like a joke where people were buying pizzas with many bitcoins. And
Yeah.
even until it was 2015 or 16 that these uh, exchanges entered India. So even if I was aware about it, I won't have been able to make any transactions on it. And if at all I would have, my the only reputed storage for blockchain was Mount Gox, which got hacked really well in 2014 or 15 something. So yeah, back then you can never be on the very first 1% people in joining in, at least in India, because all of these technology innovations come out of the world and not India. But now I know it's too late as well. But the intention of understanding from you is that we are again seeing another fresh wave of crypto-based transactions coming up. NFTs and Web3s are there. तो एक बार इंसान लेट हो जाए चलता है, दो बार लेट हो तो उसकी गलती है. तो दैट इज द इंटेंशन. एक बार लेट हो गए तो चलो लेसन सीख लिया, अब दोबारा
Yeah.
लेट नहीं होना चाहिए. एंड दैट इज वेयर आई लीव यू टू run the session with.
Okay. So yeah, you talked about ledger. You talked about trust. So let me give you a simplest example. How this blockchain came into existence. Suppose you are on a trip to maybe Maldives, or suppose any country in Europe, and you went there, and because of some XYZ reason, you have been pickpocketed or you lost your currency, and now you're left with no money. So you call your friend in India and tell him that I am short of money right now in this unknown country. Can you help me? And I'll once I'm back, I'll return that money back to you. So he trusts you, and he says to himself, okay, he's asking me money all over again. I'm not sure when he'll return, but then he transfers the money back to your account, into your account, and from there you are able to help yourself and come back to the country. So what exactly happened here? Your friend trusted you and he deposited the money into your account. So your friend became the source account, your account became the destination account, and then there is a trust in between. So that is one of the simplest example. Now, sorry, sorry, I'm having a bad throat.
No problem. Take water.
So,
Come over.
yeah. So what this example shows is basically there is a change of when we say transaction, what exactly happened here? It's just that the amount of money present in your friend's account that got transferred to your account. There was no physical transaction or not physical transfer of money that actually happened. All happened was in your account, in your ledger account, plus sign was added, and in his account minus sign was added, right? There was no physical transaction of money that happened. So this system of transaction of money is what we are aware, and that is the traditional way of money transfer that is happening all around the world. Now, when we say this kind of system, it is centralized system. When I say centralized system, there is a owner who central authority who manages everything, like for example bank or a wallet. These are the central authority, and they manages that where they have to do that plus and where they have to uh, do that negative transaction. And based on that, this has been going on for a while. Now when we talk about blockchain, what has been happening is the majority of or I should say, I can say that in blockchain, we need people to trust. And when I say trust, it has to be uh, centralization is a problem there, because in blockchain technology, there is no one person who manages everything. It is everybody is the owner. So if I can give you an example of a simple blockchain transaction. So what happens is, suppose I am about to send some money to you or some blockchain currency to you. So there are multiple uh, people in between. And when I say those are multiple people, it's like a so you understand ledger. Ledger is like a khata book. Yeah. So every transaction that I am doing from my end to your end or anybody's end, everybody has that khata book or a ledger in their particular database, and it is updated at each and every place. And those place, I can say, are the place or computer of miners. So every miner will update that particular transaction that I and you are doing into their system. Until unless they do that updation, my transaction will not be successful. And once they everybody updates that in the system, I get a confirmation that my transaction is successful with you. So what happened here is, if everybody was required to do that particular transaction, and we needed trust of each and every miner. So there are very less chances of getting your money in the wrong hands. बहुत बहुत कम चांसेस है कि आपका पैसा गलत हाथों में जाएगा. बहुत कम चांसेस है कि आपका पैसा लॉस होगा किसी ट्रांजैक्शन के बीच में, बिकॉज everybody has trusted, everybody is aware about that, everybody has acknowledged it, then only that complete transaction has happened. So that is why it is more trustable to go with a decentralized system wherein nobody is the owner, but everybody is the owner. So this is a simple example of transaction in blockchain technology. Now talking about how does cryptocurrency come into picture when you are doing a simple transaction. इसके लिए I will tell you one more thing that happens in the back end. Ledger is like a khata book, as I just said. So when there are multiple transactions happening, so there is a time when your ledger may be filled, right? It is no more going to take any more transaction, and you have to then use another set of transaction or another set of ledger to move on with the next set of transactions. So simple example, may if I have this piece of paper, you are writing what are the different transactions are happening, and once the page is filled, what you will do, you will close this ledger, you will put it back into the system, and you're not going to touch this, because this, if you touch this, then it is not a safe thing to do, and your all the blockchain transaction gets tampered. So in blockchain, you don't go back and do the changes. So if multiple transactions has happened, you need to lock this ledger, and to lock this ledger, for people to not touch it so that the transaction is tampered, you need cryptography method to lock this transaction. And when I say cryptography method, that means then the picture comes for miners. So miners, what they exactly do, they find a transaction code using multiple mathematical formulas to generate the cryptography of cryptography digit to lock this particular wallet. So they continuously run programs, they continuously do programming to find out what is that particular code that will lock this particular account. Once this account, all over the world, people fight to lock one particular ledger. That particular cryptography number they try to find out, which is hashed in technical language. That means it is uh, in the form of alphanumeric XYZ. It could be anything, but they have to identify. And the technology is such that the numbers are auto generated from the system, but somebody has to find it, and once they find it, it will fit in this, and then it will lock it forever, and nobody can then tamper it. So for particular transactions, they lock for particular transaction to complete, they have to find that cryptography number, and once they find it, they are rewarded from the system do that transaction. And the reward is those crypto coins or Bitcoin. If it is a Bitcoin blockchain, then you get Bitcoins. If it is Ethereum blockchain, you get Ethereum. And if it is XYZ blockchain, you get that particular coin as a gift to the miner who has found out. So the system is designed in such a way that you find that number and you get rewarded. That is why it is said that we have limited number of blockchain cryptocurrency or any cryptocurrency, and after 2140 there will not be any more blockchain cryptocurrency that will be generated, because that is it, that's the last time. After that, there will no more blockchain cryptocurrency that will be generated. So in short, this is how currencies are generated.
Okay, so essentially, you and I had a blockchain transaction. I wanted to buy something from you, or I wanted to give you something as a service, and you wanted to get that service, and you decided to pay me in blockchain. Maybe say I'm gonna pay you 0.001 Bitcoin, and you made that transaction to me on my blockchain wallet, on which this transaction has a transaction ID, and to ensure that this transaction ID is safely stored, there is this cryptography. And for people who are doing this transaction and storing this in a encrypted manner, they get that fees. This is what I think they call gas fees.
uh,
Maybe
Gas
some
fees are,
fees or some crypto
yeah.
coins or some part of the Bitcoin itself to ensure
So
this
there are two
transaction.
things. Gas fees actually are part of Ethereum blockchain only. So Bitcoin blockchain is a different blockchain. Ethereum is a different blockchain. Binance blockchain is a different blockchain. So there are multiple such chains, but gas is only associated with Ethereum. When we say in Bitcoin, we say, yeah, there is transaction fees associated with it, which is called as transaction fees in Bitcoin.
So basically, वो transaction ID को encrypt करने के लिए transaction fees मिलता है, right? Because that encryption happens through cryptography, which requires people to mine that.
Yeah. So if me and you are doing transaction, we are not the miners. Miners are specific people who will acknowledge that we are doing the transaction. They will update the transaction in their own ledger. Different people will have the database of ledger, and that ledger, once every miner in that particular region acknowledges it, then our transaction completes. Multiple such transaction will lead to a completion of that ledger. Once that ledger is fulfilled, it is filled, it will be required to be logged. For that, they need to run cryptography formulas, they need to run programs, so that they can find a particular cryptography hash number which will lock that ledger forever. Many times you must have heard that the transaction has been hacked. In blockchain also, there has been hacked happened. And then there is one term which is what is that term? Okay, I'm forgetting that term. I'll tell you what that is. Hard fork, if you have heard hard fork. So hard fork is a term when there has been hacks that have happened. Things have been tampered there. Now you cannot trust what is tampered and what is not tampered. So you will go one block back in your transaction, and then you will start the new blocks from there. So that is why this hard fork is a term that come into picture. And after that hard fork, many a times blockchain or Bitcoin transactions have been halved by 1/10. Ethereum has also been done. Ethereum was hard forked into Ethereum Classic, the new cryptocurrency that got generated. So these multiple things have happened in the past. But yeah, in short, that is how cryptocurrency transactions are happen, and people are rewarded for finding that hash key, basically.
Okay. Of course, this is obviously a very deep subject in itself, so I'll just remain on the shallow surface levels here. The next bit for me to then understand is like blockchains are limited. Someone comes up with Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, Solana, Binance, even Shibu. Yeah. How do you find the next value in this blockchain? Like in India, there's this Polygon, say Matic there. How do you really find this is worth putting money on? What is it that they are coming up with? Because हर कोई अपना एक ब्लॉकचेन कर रहा है, यानी हर कोई बोल रहा है कि मैं ये करेंसी बनाऊंगा, तुम मेरे करेंसी पे ट्रस्ट करो, मैं आज डॉलर नहीं और इंडियन रुपी नहीं, मैं आज शोभित कॉइन बनाऊंगा, मैं अनिकेत कॉइन बनाऊंगा. How does this really create value?
So there are two things to it. From my personal experience, there are two things that you should actually do when you are confused that what I should do. First is there is a term called as demand and supply. So if more people are attracted towards it, if it is a herd immunity, nobody is believing, nobody knows what is going on. That is what has happened with Doge and Shiba. So obviously more people are into it, so prices will go up. So that is in fact second thing. The first thing is you need to know what that technology is, and for knowing that technology you need to learn or read the white papers. So every coin will have a website, and in the website you can read the white papers and what that particular coin or transaction or cryptocurrency does, what is its speciality. And if you need to find out, okay, which cryptocurrency could be the next Bitcoin, obviously you will have to be technical to understand what that white paper talks about and how it is beneficial and how it is doing things for the society. Simplest example, if I can take Ethereum. So Ethereum, many people thought that Ethereum was not required. Till 2012, people were, as I have studied, people were not really sure if Ethereum was something that was required, because they thought Bitcoin is anyways doing the same thing. But then Ethereum went and said that we will be different, and the technology started working on smart contracts. So that's how Ethereum is based on smart contract. It's just like a piece of paper which has some contract, just like our marriage contract, or not marriage contract, I mean obviously your marriage certificate or your rent agreement. So these are different kinds of contracts. So smart Ethereum said, whatever physical contract you have, I will just make sure that your digital contract can be trusted on the blockchain, and we will work on that technology. So Ethereum basically is a smart contract on blockchain, and all the transactions of such transaction, and transaction does not mean only money. If I am sending you a document, that is a transaction. So Ethereum works on this kind of transaction, and NFT, as you talked in the start, NFT is just one of the use cases for Ethereum. And yeah, mostly all the different NFTs that you have heard, and everything that could go on digital is on Ethereum blockchain, and Ethereum uses gas, as you said.
Okay, so what is okay now? Very, very layman question. When I see people talking about NFTs, there's some weird animated icon which you're not able to really believe that this is like, okay, kya hai ye? What the fuck is it?
So NFT is just like a JPG image being sold because it will not be replicated. Obviously, JPG images are replicated, but every unique ID will have a unique. Every unique picture will have a unique ID, which
Hmm.
can be tracked on the Ethereum blockchain, and the exact owner will can be easily identified. Okay, you are the only person who has the unique code, and rest of the people who are having that similar image do not have an unique code. That's why uh, the price is for uniqueness. So you would have seen the first image was sold of a cartoon fish
Yeah.
worth $1 million. At that point of time, I don't know who was the seller and why the person who wanted to buy it bought it, but because that cannot be again created, it can be created, but it cannot be created on the blockchain, Ethereum blockchain. So that's why the price is for uniqueness.
And all of these NFTs are therefore transacted on OpenSea. That is the very popular marketplace for buying and selling NFTs,
Yeah,
right?
it is just one of the markets which is called as OpenSea. There are many apart from that. There is Rarible, there is WazirX has also its own
Mm.
open market, but WazirX works on WazirX, Wazir token, and they work on Binance Smart Chain.
Mm. Okay. So yeah, there are a few like the reason of me understanding NFTs a little bit is because on Twitter there are many visual designers who have designed amazing visuals,
Yeah.
especially with the world of books and all. And there is one of the creator who has said that he's willing to sell his NFT to me. And I'm like, okay, I have no idea what the heck is NFT and I have no crypto holdings itself. So I said, okay, hold the beer sort of term till I get myself there. Which is why I immediately had a conversation with you and said, let's set some time to discuss. So all said and done, in India, it's quite tricky to get into. Like in India, if you want to own the stock, you open a demat account and just start trading. As simple as that. Everything is legit.
Yeah.
In crypto world, of course, there is no regulator and no government intervention yet. Government intervenes to discourage cryptocurrencies because everyone can come up with their own cryptocurrency. So you don't know what is legit and what is not. So how does one own crypto holdings, that is cryptocurrencies, in a legit manner? How?
So there are many applications and companies who are uh, providing crypto support in India for selling cryptocurrencies, and there are many outside India as well, like international companies like Coinbase, Binance, and HitBTC. There are many. So obviously, right now there is no regulation. So I would not say that you should make use of that, because in the end, once regulations are done, you need to come back to all the Indian channels. You need all your holdings to be present on Indian channels, because that is what the crypto bill also talked about, that you cannot keep your holdings outside the country. Once the bill is introduced, you will be charged with maybe 1 crore or 5 crore rupees of fine. So yeah, there are enough companies, applications in India which you can use to buy and do the transaction of cryptocurrency based on how those are performing. So cryptocurrency holding is one thing, NFT holding is another thing. When you're holding NFT as an artist or as anybody XYZ, a normal person, I am also holding one NFT, I mean, which I bought some few months back. But you need to have idea, knowledge, from where you will buy, what you will buy, what is the purpose. Are you just holding something because you want to be with the herd, or you feel that there is some logic or there is some value to hold this? Or you can have your own things also. If people know you, people would like to buy certain things, because NFT is only for creators or famous people. That's what the trend is like. Otherwise, if Amitabh Bachchan also launched his own movie posters as an NFT, he have sold Sholay for some million rupees, $1 million, in fact, Sholay's poster. So yeah, so if you're famous, you can use technology to promote your stuff. um, that is just one thing. But if you're just wanting to do it or try it, or in fact have knowledge about it, there are enough ways to do it from Indian websites as well. Not Indian website, from India, because those websites, there are multiple websites that you make your account on, connect, buy some Ethereum first. Obviously, for even buying different cryptocurrency, you need to have money, because until and unless you are spending money, you will not be able to pay the gas fees to buy certain NFTs. So that's how it is in India. So there are many ways. I can tell you if you want, where you should do that start. Yeah.
Okay, so suppose today after this call, I want to own few Ethereum coins. Okay, which is that app that you will recommend me to create an account on, which can be trusted, which doesn't have legitimacy issues or app issues itself, because app needs to be stable at the same time. What is it that you'll recommend?
Um, as a starter, in India, I would suggest you to make your account on WazirX, only because in WazirX, it is simple, easy to understand, and the UI is very user friendly. So you make your account on WazirX, buy some WazirX coin, because in WazirX, all the transaction happens through WazirX coin, unlike Ethereum, which is Ethereum blockchain. This is Binance blockchain. And on that website, WazirX NFT marketplace is there, wherein people, different creators from all around India, have put in their uh, different artistic images, which people go browse, see the prices, and if they like, they offer to the creator and they can buy it, and vice versa. Somebody can buy it from you as well. So you need to make your account there, and you can do that. The second option is, if you are not interested, suppose you see that not enough content, or you're not liking it, something which is present on WazirX marketplace, you can go to OpenSea, as you said. There is actually an application. The name of the application is MetaMask. Application that needs to be present. You need to connect that from your browser, buy certain Ethereum, connect that from your browser to that Ethereum wallet, and once you go to OpenSea, you can merge OpenSea and that particular application from your browser, and go to OpenSea and buy anything that you want. But there are huge gas fees associated, because Ethereum is considered to be money wasting and money minting blockchain technology. But yeah, I would suggest you to go to NFT marketplace and OpenSea.io, and you can see a lot of stuff. Even if you don't want to buy it, you can browse through it and see that how the world of NFTs look like.
Okay. Um, what is this Coin DCX? Coinbase, Coin DCX.
So
Is it
these are
just like
Indian
WazirX or is it?
platforms. These are Indian platforms just like WazirX. Coin DCX was way before WazirX. WazirX has been launched, I think, 3 years back. But yeah, Coin DCX was there. Before that, there was Coinbase, which I
Hmm,
think is closed back in 2018. Then there was Zeppay also there, but not a lot of numbers of people are using it. So yeah, there are multiple, but yeah, I gave you the simplest one, which has good UI and user friendly.
okay. So I understand we are at 8:42, so we'll have to wrap up as well. But um, out of curiosity again, now I can see a lot of people having their name as cdixon.eth, xyz.eth, which I found was a domain you can buy at unstoppabledomains.com. What is this fancy trend of owning .eth domains?
It is just like how .com came into existence, and every other name had .com, and it was already booked by people. I remember I had learned about this, that www.facebook.com was actually owned by someone in India, and Mark Zuckerberg had to offer him certain money to buy that from that Indian guy. And then, sorry,
Hmm,
not Facebook.com, the name of Zuckerberg's daughter, uh,
okay.
that's some unique name, that was already booked by somebody in India, and Zuckerberg had to actually pay a lot of money to get that name as .com from that person. So similar to that, .eth is in existence, and I'm not sure exactly how or what background it has, but that is one thing that people are going after .eth currently, and
Hmm.
which is very eye catchy, and people want to have certain things with them.
Okay. So it's just becoming more like another art collection where you're saying कि मेरे पास ये है, तेरे पास नहीं है. Okay. And you can buy it from any website, or does it again have to be a crypto-based website? These domains.
No, so I have no idea about that. I'll have to check.
Okay.
But my assumption is all this ETH related or cryptocurrency related stuff can only be done from cryptocurrency sites.
Okay. And one last question then. Actually, two last questions. One which I'll ask on the recording part. Um, just give me a moment. Yeah, just left my head. So we've talked about .eth domains. We've talked about. I don't want to get into DAOs yet because there will be too many concepts.
That's a huge concept. I need to brush up my DAO
Okay.
uh,
So
concept.
my question is, and this is one of my most important questions. You explained to me a couple of months back that you were learning the blockchain development technology, the blockchain coding elements. What is the role of blockchain developer here? Are they understanding cryptography? Are they understanding coding? What is the role of
Okay,
blockchain
so
developer?
blockchain developer is a niche and hot skill to have in this current point of time. And blockchain, as I understand, it is not just related to transactions only. It is not just related to money only. Because I know a couple of people who are working in Infosys for 5 to 6 years, last 5 to 6 years on blockchain technology, and they are as a blockchain developer they are working, because there are many companies and organizations who are already working on certain things, uh,
Hmm.
just like all these companies that we are talking about, so they are already working. So as a blockchain developer, you create uh, the similar thing that we do on a day-to-day basis. So Ethereum has its own uh, code just like Java and .NET, Ethereum has its own programming language. Solana is similar to Ethereum, but then Binance also has its own programming language. So similar to that, as a blockchain developer, your task is to develop certain things, develop few technologies, or in simple terms, I can say develop smart contracts. Smart contracts are programs in digital format. So you write a code and you prepare a program. So that is in short what blockchain developers do.
Okay, so basically, what we talked about in the era of 1990s, that um, there were programming languages which became popular, C++, Java.
Yeah,
Now we are essentially going to see the crypto, that is a blockchain technology based programming language, which become
yeah,
popular as that blockchain becomes popular.
yeah. I
So,
mean, it is already popular and it is evolving at a very fast pace as
mm,
well. Uh, that we talked about NFTs. Just like NFTs, there is another term which is metaverse, which
mm,
is again blowing everybody's mind. You might have heard in last 3 months.
yeah,
So it is evolving. It was not there 3 years, 4 years back. So we don't know what is the limit of evolution that this blockchain technology is bringing.
mm.
NFTs is one part, metaverse is huge part, and we don't know in next 6 months something might come, which was already there, but we are not aware at this point of time.
Okay, now that you've dropped the bombshell, is metaverse virtual reality on blockchain, or is metaverse completely something else?
Yeah, it is. Metaverse is just one. Virtual reality is uh, the concept I can say for metaverse,
Mm.
and metaverse is in if you uh, try to find the meaning is multiple universe at one place. So yeah, so that you talked about virtual reality. So virtual reality is just one part of metaverse. There are multiple certain things which are part of metaverse, and like Facebook is using is having a company called as Oculus for
Mm.
last 4 years, which
Mm.
works on virtual reality. There is a device that you apply on
Yeah.
your head and then you do. So whatever those things people were already using Oculus to play games or do certain kind of activities, so those things is just being merged into virtual reality, and for doing certain things you will be rewarded and awarded, and the future technology will be such that just how we at our current times are always into our mobile phone. uh, People want, the technology companies want that we should always be on our VR headset and not get out of that virtual reality world, because everything will be done there only. So that is what the future is inviting us for very soon.
Okay.
Talking about NFT, so people buy digital NFTs, digital art. So there is a use case in metaverse of those NFTs. Now, when we say use case, what will you do with a image of a fish on your laptop? Obviously, it's of no use. And if you have bought it for like $1 million,
Mm.
there's no use for you. But you can make millions using that image. How? So there are metaverse world out there, like, and metaverse coins are also there, like mana is there and the sandbox is there. So every such coins have their own virtual world. You can go to their websites. Mana has its own Wonderland website. Sandbox has its own virtual world. So you can go create your own avatar there, and different people sell land as well there. So land is another use case of cryptocurrency. People are buying and selling land, renting out, because your avatar needs a place to stay. Your avatar wants to drive a vehicle, so he will buy a car, he will buy petrol for that car. So people are already there. Virtually everything is happening. You need clothes to wear. Your avatar will not be nude out there. So people are selling uh, cloth, cap, tie, goggles, everything out there, and those are bought with real money, real cryptocurrencies. So there is a person who is known as Meta Covin. Just note this name if you want. And Meta Covin is an Indian guy who lives in Singapore, and he was the first person who bought a painting worth 69 million US dollars. And that image has more than million image in itself, and he bought as an NFT, Meta Covin. And what his idea is to use that image on that virtual world, and people are who are going inside that virtual world as a avatar will can see that million image on a giant screen using a Oculus headset, VR headset. So you need to pay money to go to a museum to see that image. So similarly, multiple such things are present inside a museum, because there is a museum also in a virtual world. So there is an entry charge for museum. There is uh, multiple singers have also associated themselves with Sandbox World or the Mana World, and they are doing their singing and different kind of shows out there, and they are earning money. So it's a huge world. We don't know as of now what will be the future, but yeah, this is right now what I have idea about, and I thought it will be interesting to just close it on this note. And that's it from my side. I have no more idea or thing to share with you. Thank you.
Okay, the last part just blew my head because it was like, wait, picture abhi baki hai mere dost, and then boom, you're dropping bomb after bomb. Okay, well, okay, this definitely means that there will be a follow-up session, and once I have done my own research on it, I can reach out and say, "Abhi thode connected dots ho rahe hain." Now you build that bigger picture. Because right now, to even imagine that there will be a virtual museum where someone who's running a show which you can only see in Oculus is far too difficult to comprehend. Although it's just like a sci-fi book happening to you. But wow, thank you so much, Shobit, for this amazing session and this last boom moment. On that note,